Three controls that you'll be using often are the text box, label, and command button. In this demonstration, we'll add an example of each to this blank form and take a quick look at their properties. The text property is used to retrieve the text typed in by the user. You can also use the text property to display text to the user. The text box has many properties that let you control its appearance and functionality. For example, it has properties that allow you to set its font type, size, and color. Other properties allow you to set the maximum number of characters a user can enter, or even to display a particular password character regardless of what the user types. This feature is useful in a logon dialog box. The text box can be a multi-line text box by setting its multi-line property to true. If you wish to have scroll bars in your text box, you can set the scroll bars property. The choices are horizontal, vertical, or both. Like the text box, the label control can display text. The difference is that the user cannot enter text into a label. Unlike the text box's text property, a label has a caption. You can set the label's caption property at runtime or design time to display the desired text. Labels have many of the same properties as text boxes, but since the user can't modify the text in a label control, some of the properties of the text box control are not included in the label control. On the other hand, the label control has some properties that the text box control doesn't. For example, the label has an auto-size property that allows the control to size automatically around its content. There's also a word wrap property, which causes the contents to wrap in the control. Command buttons are extremely useful. Common functions of a command button are to supply your program with the OK cancel functionality. The command button has some properties that map its functions to particular keys on the keyboard. For example, the default and cancel properties. The default property maps the command button to the enter key. This is useful for an OK button on a form. When the default property is set to true, the border of the command button becomes thicker to show that it's the default for the form. The cancel property maps to the escape key and, as you'd expect, is typically used only for cancel buttons. Setting the property to true doesn't change the button's appearance, so avoid using this property in odd situations. A new feature in version 5 of Visual Basic is the ability to add a graphic to a command button. You do this using the picture property and the style property. You can also display a different picture according to the state of the button. For example, if a graphic is present in the disabled picture property, the command button uses it when the control's enabled property is set to false. To display a different graphic when the button is pressed, you can use the down picture property. Text in the caption property will be displayed along with the graphic unless you set caption to an empty string.